if you could just take this time, if you can, to love your ego, but put it down just beside you, so you have an open mind and an open heart for this session, and to be able to take whatever the beings say with love, with compassion, with peace, and with the bliss of all things. Lo'ai, 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 aya, aya, ayu, ayu, ai, asu, ai, baka, kasu. Welcome. We bring you love, peace, and harmony while you listen to what we have to say in this illusion, right here, right now. We do not speak through words, as we are vibration and pure energy. So bear with us when we use the body of sage. Bear with us if at times you can't hear or understand what we are saying. We are here in this moment to share with you humans about the energy of teachings. But what does that mean? For someone to teach someone, or to be taught by someone, is a gift. Nothing more but a gift. Every single human on this earthly realm does some form of teachings, even if they're teaching self. No human is better than the other. They can't be, as all humans have their own contract to bear. And we know within that brings the oneness. Before a human would love or like to share their teachings, they should first go within. For while they go within, they are able to find the tools that is needed to share to others. Now, humans feel in this earthly realm, when they go to school, and they get an education, and they get qualifications, and they get a paper that says words like a degree or master, they think that's the teachings. We are letting you know that is part of the gift, yes, but that is not the teachings, as the teachings will always come from within. Go within and you will find the perfect teachings for you. Maybe not for somebody else, but the perfect teachings for you. Teachings are experiences. That's all. They're experiences. They're part of your contract that you wanted to experience while you are here on this earthly realm. Everyone are taught and teaches differently. Teaching's meant to be fun. Every aspect of teaching is meant to be fun because it allows different energies in your mind and body to be able to grow. It's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be fun. So the teachings we're given for that is to start with going within. If you're giving out teachings to anything or anyone and you feel like you're tripping up, something's stopping you, for whatever reason, something's stopping you, sit back down and go within, because it's showing that your teachings from within hasn't been looked at. We're going to go to purpose. Humans like to use that word. I want a purpose. I want to know what my purpose is. Some humans connect purpose to contract. Again, humans get led by the illusion of the ego. They want to do this. They want that to be their purpose. They want this to be their contract. But is it really? A real purpose is the everything that you experience. We will repeat that. The real purpose is everything that you experience. Once you understand that, you won't need to separate anything, and you'll be able to be free to live your purpose, grow from it, plant more seeds, and let it grow how it needs to, without trying to hold on to it tight, by trying to dictate what your mind thinks your purpose is. We've said this before. A human's purpose could be someone that comes into this earthly realm and just wants to bear children. And by them bearing children, every aspect of other experience to that connects to the purpose. And humans, remember, there is no right or wrong. So a purpose can be something that seems not right to another human or to that human, but that is their purpose. Somebody else's purpose could be just to learn how to breathe while they are here in this earthly realm. You get some energies that their purpose is to just experience the womb, nothing more. So what comes with that is abortions, miscarriages, stillborns. So it seems not good. It seems not nice. But there was a contract there. And that contract, that energy just wanted to experience the womb. They weren't here to come out and become other things. They just wanted to experience the womb. Like some energies just want to experience sperm and just the egg doing its thing each month. Nothing more. Doesn't need to be nothing more. There's no one better than the other. Humans like to say lower vibration and higher vibration. Oh, us humans, we're higher. And then an ant or a spider, oh, they're lower vibration because they can do limited stuff. Humans, how do you know that? What an ant can do, you humans can't do. So who would be the higher vibration then? A purpose is the everything of what you are experiencing on this earthly realm. Try not to separate your purpose. It's all within the spider web, all within the oneness. However, it seems separated, and that is where the teaching comes. So what can you humans do to start allowing the oneness to take its place? It's very simple. We love that word because humans make things so complicated. We like to say the word simple because it is. start going within. We want to give you something for you to do for when you leave here. If you choose, everyone has free will. We want you to identify the difference between your ego and your inner self. There is a separation there within the human mind, even though it is the oneness. We want you to really look, feel, and experience the difference between your ego and your inner self. How do you do this? We'll give you an example. Someone's woken up and they've had a bad day. Things ain't going right for them. So they don't feel happy within their self. So their minds, their ego is telling them to not go out, stay in, lie down. They don't have no energy. So they tell them to just stay in and do nothing. It's at that time that you draw for your inner self. Ask your inner self, what should we do? Because it's the you. What should we do? The ego is going to always be the one that's afraid. Anything that's afraid inside of you, anything, that's going to be the ego. Anything that don't like change, energies inside of you that don't like change, that's going to be the ego. Doesn't want to fly, doesn't want to open different doors and be free. Humans like to see prison, where humans have created a building and rules that they call prison. But humans, let us tell you, it starts from within. Many humans prison themselves. And that has to be released before any growth can be seen. Even though seeds grow naturally, sometimes they're not seen within. Some humans would say that to feel within, to feel that loving heart within, that bliss, it's somewhere in the body. It's not somewhere in the body. It's the soul within. The soul within is the everything of oneness. So if you want to tap in to the inner you, you have to be able to know, this is intentions, to know that you're tapping in to the oneness. And to tap into the oneness, you have to embrace the yin and yang. If you choose to be one-sided, then you will start leaning in that boat called your life. In fact, there's no human that don't connect to the yin and yang. We've said this before. There's been humans that people's killed people and they disregard that human they've done something bad, they've killed someone. But we give this to you. Say that was your child. Say that was your parents that killed someone. You might not like their behavior, but be honest from your heart. Would you still purely love them? Is it still unconditional love that you would have for them, your children, or your parents that killed that person or raped that person? This is where we're going with this. For the world and the earthly world to start shifting, and for humans to shift the world with it. Humans need to start to connect with the yin and yang. It's so important that there's thousands of us out here, of energies, beings, thousands and thousands. We can't even put a number to it. We're just trying to speak like how you humans speak. There's no numbers to it. Thousands speaking to humans, trying to get into their dreams, trying to get into their minds, trying to get into their songs that they listen to, trying to get into their meditation where they're a bit silent, so maybe they might be able to hear us. And we speak, and the humans do the same thing, like a cycle. They speak, they talk, but they're not doing the actions. We feel you. We know when you're still feeling fearful. We know when you've said something but you haven't really done it. We know when you speak out and it's okay to speak about other people, but when that one thing or two things happen to your family or your child or your parents or your dear friends, energy changes and it becomes more serious. Why is this? We are here to tell you that your children, your family members are only here for this earthly realm. When they transition on, they become the soul of the oneness. Everything becomes one. It's a soul energy. However, we've said this before. When they transition on, you can still have access to them. It's like a clone. But the access you have to them is the spirit, not the soul. So you could see them. They can remain the same. You can speak to them. But humans, please remember, you don't have to wait for a person to transition on to speak to their spirit. You can do it now. So we want to give you something else to take with you to practice, if you don't already. Is to start to connect with people's spirits, speak to them. Because when you start to do that, when they do transition on, the fear of death, the fear of loss, the fear of thinking they've gone, they haven't gone anywhere, would shift and change energy. Start speaking to people's spirits from now. Sage does this already. Sage astro travels and she connects with people by astro traveling. And this is a good way of teachings to help self connect to death and like and love death as the oneness of life. We can't stress it enough. This is temporary. You humans and insects and fossils and animals and trees and everything else, nature, elements, all visitors in this earthly realm. And when you transition on, your soul goes on to many other things. If you like, you could even say that this is not real. This is a dream. And when you transition on as the soul, that's real. If you wanted to try and work out what is real and what is not real, it would not be this, because it's only temporary. It's only temporary. There's everyone in this room. Every single person in this room have things that they need to work on with regards to fear. Every single person. You can choose to wait, or you can choose to work on those fears from now. Remember, there's no time. Work on your fears and you will see your life start to change. Work on your fears and you will see your contract start to blossom like a flower. And that is the teachings right there. You get into that stage of conquering fears. And we repeat ourselves to conquer the fear or to practice the teachings. You go within first. You go within first. That is your doctor. That is your love. That is your savior. That is your compassion. That is your fear. That is where you get all your teachings from. When you get teachings from the outsides, that should just be confirmation. That should only be confirmation if that's what you choose for your contract, that you needed confirmation. Everything comes from within. Now, we could have some humans that say, but I might be here to get teachings from others, and that's what I'm here to experience. And that is correct. But to know if that is correct, we are saying you still need to go within. We are at the stage as energy forces is to allow humans to have the choice and free will to know what they want to experience. So we're telling you this as a choice, and only as a choice, free will. We have always said, and we're going to say it again, in time to come, humans will be extinct. And what we mean by that, they will shift, their energy will change. Humans won't be like how humans are now. That's what we mean by extinct. Their energy will shift and change and determine how humans activate their contract and grow and shift energy will determine their makeup to the next energy of humans. They won't be called humans. So in a way, there's been many teachers that have said humans are going to be extinct, the world's going to end, and in some way they are right. Because energy needs to shift and change. So it will change, but it won't end. And that is the difference of when humans use words to share to other humans. When we speak about connecting with other spirits, we want to break that down some more. We're talking about vibration and frequencies. Connect to people's frequencies. You know, when you have animals and you have to connect with them and they don't speak the language that you do, but you still have to connect with them. This is what we mean by connecting with other people, things, nature, elements. Connect to the frequency. It's alive. It speaks to you. The energy's alive. It speaks to you. Get to understand the language. Humans have been so connected just to communication through words. They've forgotten how to connect in other ways. And that has to return for the energy to shift. This has just come up. We want to share this. The earthly realm is like a cycle. It goes round and round and round forevermore. It doesn't stop. Every single human has already went through the cycle of every experience. And again, and again, and again. We want to say this to you because some humans think in this earthly realm, in their conscious mind, they have a choice to say, I'm not coming back as a human, I'm going to come back as this, I'm going to come back as that. When you're a soul, there's just the energy of all things. There's no, I want to come back as this or come back as that. It's just the energy of all things. So the earthly realm is a continuation of every aspect. That's why we're saying come back. That's why we're saying this has to remember who you are. Remember what you used to do. Remember this, because it's a cycle. This is the part of the game in this earthly realm. Other dimensions, other illusions are completely different. Completely different. They don't have words, they don't speak, they don't think of materialistic stuff, they're not worried about where they live in, they're not worried about if they've got money, there's no worry, there's no fear, there's no anything like that with many of the dimensions and illusions of the oneness. But this earthly realm, it's the makeup of the yin and yang. We've said this before, and humans are still not quite getting it. They want it to be pure love. They want it to just not be the opposite to that. But that is love. And the opposite to that is the opposite to the love. It's an experience. You humans came here for that. You wanted that. And we're going to go even deeper. Every single human and everyone in this room have had a thought of killing someone or just wanted someone gone for whatever reason. Even if it was just a split second, they've had a thought. Or even if it ain't somebody else, it's themselves. No one is perfect. We have to love the balance. And remember that next time maybe you have a little bit of a judgment and you're thinking of others or somebody else that they've done this and they've done that. Think about your thoughts. Where does your thoughts go? Because you humans think that we don't know. No one can hear your thoughts. So I can think this and I can think that. And I can like this person or I can not like this person. Or I can feel like this. Or I can say these things. Because it's only in my thoughts. It's energy still. And that story in your thoughts is having its own life. And that makes you remember that no one is perfect. Questions?
Any questions?
No question. Are we just remembering only that was already was? If time doesn't exist.
Time, sorry.
Are we only remembering what already has been?
How it works in this earthly realm is that you will remember what your contract has chosen. So the past, the so-called present, and the so-called future is part of the contract that's been dealt for this earthly realm. So what you are is what you have chosen to try and remember. There's not everything a human needs to remember. And that's a good thing, because humans need to learn to shred things away and know that this moment has gone. Again, this is another practice that humans need to do. Holding on to past, holding on to something that's happened 5 minutes ago. Even if it's good, you let it go. It's gone. Humans tend to want to hold on to the good, the so-called good. And when it comes to the so-called not good, they're holding it on, but they don't want to hold on. Nothing needs to be held if we are all one and it's all energy. Allow it to be. When you're holding on to something, that's you being within the prison experience. So that is the answer to your question. The remembrance is what your contract that you have created for yourself will be what you will remember. And it won't be everything.
I understand this whole yin and yang and loving the opposite, but I'm finding it really difficult at the moment to love the opposite. Yeah.
And my love, that is good. It's part of your contract. It's good for you to be aware that you're finding it difficult, because it's within that difficult energy flowers are able to grow within you. Remember what we always say, patience. Allow the energy of patience to be. There's no time, so nothing's running out. Be free to allow your flow to find itself. Go within and allow your higher self, the oneness of all things, to guide you. You have guides here for a reason. Okay, we are going to go now. We are sending you a lot of love and a lot of peace, like we always do. We still find it so strange that we're speaking in this language. We don't do this language. We do vibrations. We just do the nothingness and the let things just be. So thank you for allowing us to come in through words to share what we need to share. We will continue to send the message until otherwise, because things always shift and changes. Nothing will remain the same, even though the cycle goes round. The cycle goes round and the cycle goes round, but the same shifts and changes. So it seems like it's the same, but it will never be the same. Lo'ai, 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 baka ayu, ayu ali, ai ayu. Okay, thank you guys for that. I don't know what time it is now.
22 minutes past 8.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I don't know how long I was going on for. I don't know what you got from it, if you got anything from it. I do remember most of it, because they said I was going to remember most of it, but I was just somewhere like just a bliss. It was just so nice where I was. I didn't even really want to remember a lot of it, to be honest, but I do remember some, so we can discuss if we want. We've got 10 minutes to discuss and just break down what you've got, and being honest with what they say. If you don't understand, you don't understand. If you didn't connect, you didn't connect. If you did, you did. If you know, it's just being real and open to what has just been said, you know. So does anyone want to share what they got from it?
If we keep coming back just to experience certain things that we haven't experienced before, and because everything is changing all the time, does that mean that we'll just keep coming back to experience what was new when we transitioned on as well? I mean, does it never end then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
do we ever get to that part where will we be a guide or whatever? Does
yes.
it never end?
So what they meant when they said about never ending and going on, because there's no end. Humans disconnected to a point with regards to, okay, just us as humans, and then, you know, everything is separated of animals or insects or anything like that. Nothing's separated. So when they say about on this earthly realm, remember they're just talking about this earthly realm. They're not talking about any other dimensions where you can choose to experience that. They're not talking about spirits that we can choose to see them or feel them or get messages from them in different ways. Yeah. So when you say, does it mean it's just going to go on, and is it going to go on? It's going to go on, and it's going to go on, but in different ways. So for instance, you can transition on and come back as a so-called guide. That would be in a spirit form. Yeah. So that would be in a spirit form. You could come back, or you have come back before, and you was your wife. You know, so it's coming back in different ways and in different forms. So when we say, oh, I'm going to come back as me, no, I'm not coming back as me, but I'm coming back as part of an energy. So I can come back as you, but it's the same energy, but in a different way. So that's what they mean by it's never ending. There's so many aspects to it. It's like literally it's so much that we don't have the intellect to even put into words. And that's why they love to say that our human language, remember that's quite new. The language of how we speak, the English language is new to what we used to do before and how we used to communicate before. So if that's the case, our English language is very limited to what we say. That's why if you notice, a lot of humans, we repeat ourselves and we say the same things. If a word is in a dictionary, we're going to say it and we're repeating. But we're not thinking, oh, I don't want to say that word. I want to say something new. Or I want to say this as this and not say it as because, you know, another human put a dictionary together and put words together and said, these are the words we have to use. We just naturally go with it. So the word healing, everyone says healing. The word whatever, mum, everyone says mum. Everyone says, you know, and that's the cycle of what we're going through at this present moment. When they're speaking, what they're trying to really get us and humans to shift from is the robot side of us just like living that everyday life of just what's been told to us and not going within to understand what am I here to experience. Forget about everyone else right now, forget about what we are doing. What am I here to experience? What am I here to really experience? Why am I here? When you get up each morning, that's a gift on its own. That is the purpose. But while you are getting up each morning in this illusion, in this dream, we're still here because we're here to find out, okay, why am I here then? What do I need to do? What do I want to experience? What do I want to experience? Just that word. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you can understand it in a bigger form of just us having that logic understanding. And that's why they say put the ego down, because of that.
The other thing as well, you're thinking it as a cycle of death, life, death, life. It's not that. It's not that time that that we live, we die. It's not that. It's if you can get your head round that. Just say that you're happening in many dimensions all at once now. And if you was to pass, it's only this dimension you're passing from. You're still in many other dimensions doing lots of other things.
Right now.
Yeah.
Literally
Constantly.
right now.
In fact, it reminds me of the beings when we had this conversation, when we were having these conversations with the beings, when they turned around and literally said to both Sage and I, you're already dead. Do you remember that when they said that to us? They went, all right, we'll give it to you like this. You two are already dead. You're already dead. So there is no death. So get that motion of death and life out. You've got to get that out, because that's something we see on a physical. It's not actually what's going on, and that's the shift. That's why the shift of thought pattern, if you like. So it's not the human race is going to completely be obliterated tomorrow, and it's the fact that our existence of thought is going to be obliterated, and it's going to evolve into. So I had a question, and it got answered today while we was talking, because I thought that explains this. I wanted to know why was I shown a future where the medicine was no longer there. This is in the early days, where healing would be done through forgotten knowledge, where they said we'll be healing from the earth, the stones will show us how to heal when we humans are at a place where we can actually know what to do with them. They said that's coming, and I remember I was talking to a friend about it, and I just had this thought. I thought, well, what happens if you break a leg? Because if we break a leg, we all presume we go to hospital, and it's a certain procedure we have. And I said, well, what happens in that time? And it got shown to me that there would be no breaking of legs. But I couldn't understand it until today, when they were just speaking, and it got shown again that it's not the earth or us sort of. It's the same process as we're seeing life and death. That's how we're seeing the whole world, but it's not like that. It's different from that. It's not this life and death. The other thing I wanted to say to you is I did ask them, on each life, do we reincarnate? This is in the early stage. I said, when we reincarnate, do we come with the same people? Or do we come with other people? And they actually started laughing at that, because they said, why would you want to? Why would you want to? They said some people will reincarnate and they might have the same partner go through, but why would you want to do that? Each experience is just an experience to get something more. So that was quite, when you were speaking, I thought that it's the process of life and death that needs to be changed, first of all, because we still think it's this line and it's going that way. When in fact it's not going that way, it's just an explosion of everything now. And I remember them saying, whatever you see through your first eyes right now, that's the truth. Not memories, not thoughts, not, what you're seeing right now, because this is the now. So that would explain. So if they wanted, like history and things that have happened in the past, you asked a question about that. You asked about something, how do we know what is happened before to now?
No, are we just remembering what's already happened?
Yeah. So there is it's already happened, it's momentarily happening. So as you get the thought, everything happens at once. There is no history per se. Even history, they said to us, there is no history. History is given to us in that moment of thought. So it can be changed at any motion, any time. So our history that we believe today will not be the history that, let's say, we're in human terms of time, let's say 10, 20 years from now, they won't have the same history as we have today, because the history is changed within the motion of that person in that moment. Do you understand that? It's really hard for me to sort of get that across.
There will always be history, surely.
But what is history? You're
What's
going on
gone on in the
history,
past?
which is, but I've just said there is no past. There is no past. Like there is no future.
But there is while you're a human being,
So
because
here and now.
So in the here and now. Not if we're all in consciousness. And this is as we are the visitors. Where are we visiting from? The beings are always saying we are the visitors. They're not the visitors. We are the visitors. That's a little thought.
Oh, it's hard to understand sometimes, isn't it?
It is.
History
And I was
is
like,
like his story.
It is.
His
it's
story.
clues in the name.
History is what, sorry?
His story.
Right.
That just came to mind.
It is. That's right.
That's a bit like saying the future can change the past.
But they did say you can change the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like interchanging ball, like a ball. It's just a
Yeah.
ball.
It's exactly that. So as I'm saying, the history that we have now, that we feel is history now, will not be the history maybe 20, even tomorrow. Even, because I'm just doing it on plural for like 20 years in Earth times, because I've seen history change now in my own, well, it's all in our own, but I've seen it, so it's been shown to me how it can be how history can be changed, because there is no history, because it's always only now. But that's getting your head around the consciousness.
Yes,
Well,
that's
things
like
have
a ball,
happened.
then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Interchangeable
you're
ball.
right. Yeah.
And what was that for?
Things have happened that have been written down. So is that not history? What is that then? If
Then
that's
that
not
is
history.
that is how they describe that, because these are questions I've all asked. That how they describe that is that if everything's happening in the now, then that person's now of, it's like, okay, let me put it like this, that when we asked them is the world round or flat, they said it has no shape. So it is down to the perception of that person's contract. So if you take it a deep step beyond that, so if I can say to you, this is an illusion. So if this is an illusion, and we might seem like we're here, our fleshy body is here, this flesh, and we've got matter, and we know this is a candle, we know that's water, but if everything is in consciousness, then everything can change momentarily. And if we are in consciousness, then our source is not actually here, our source is in source. It's going to be a little
still
hard to get your
doesn't
head
answer the
around.
question.
Can I add to
What
that?
happens to
Go
the
on then,
things
because I
that
don't
are
think I'm
written down
explaining
then?
it very
Yeah.
well.
No, I've
You're saying they
they've
didn't
just
exist.
said, so I'm going to
Oh, they're
add
coming in
to
now.
what they've just said. And they're saying, to your question, everything's a story. So look at it as a story. Everything is a story. The human mind has created a story for this earthly realm. So they're saying to you, in our story, the human's story, it's not disregarding the history, it's not disregarding the future, and it's not disregarding the present moment, because we wouldn't even have the intellect to experience those things if it wasn't in the illusion. Yeah? So they're not saying these things is not here for us to experience it in the story. What they're saying is that it is just an illusion. And once you can figure out that it's not real, so history is not real, this present time is not real, the future is not real, because this whole illusion, it's a dream. It's not real. We're not real. We're just this human body experiencing an earthly realm. That's why it's temporary, because it's not real. They're giving you an example when you do your drawings or when you write and you go into that illusion and you start drawing, and that drawing can become that life for that moment. Or when you write and that illusion becomes that life, that story for that moment. That's what this earthly realm is like. Ain't no different to your drawings. Ain't no difference to your stories that you write. There's no separation. It's just that it seems like it is because we're human. We have a mind, we have emotions, we can touch things, we can get worried, so because we have that, we feel that it's something a bit more than what it actually is, which is just a dream. It's not real. This is not real. Us here speaking now is not real. It's just a concept of our contract and our story that we've wanted to put in. That's why we're all here together tonight. All here, this was all part of our contract. All part of our story, that we was all going to get together and we was going to be here tonight to experience this story. This story. This is the whole reason why our past can be our past, and we can disregard it and we can change it, shift its energy, because it's here and we're experiencing it. It's part of the contract. But it's just a story, but it's not real. But we're not real. We're not real. We're just part of this illusion that we're experiencing something. And the more that humans can get to grips with that and say, okay, I still want to do good things. Yeah, okay, I'm not real, or this is a dream, but I still want to find out what my contract is. I choose to do good things. I choose to do that. I know that what that does to my vibration. So that's where I'm going with that. I choose to still be healthy. I choose to eat the right things. I choose to love. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because in this story of what we've created, we've become that. But you can become that by your writing as well. You can become your drawing. You can become your music. And what they mean by becoming is everything has a story that speaks to us. So your writing would start, and it does already, starts to talk to you. You can become it. You can start, that story can be your guide. Your drawings that you do can be literally your guide. Because, and some people be like, no, that's not, you can't do that. We just have to do what, the other humans say that we should do. That's logic. That's not logic. So how can your story be your spirit guide? How can that just doesn't make sense. But this is why it's called an illusion, because there is nothing that is out of the ordinary in this earthly realm. But that is because it is an illusion. Humans stop humans. But if we didn't stop and we was able to really be how we wanted it to be, and just literally experience everything that we wanted to, we get limited a lot, don't we? Because we have laws in this earth. Yeah. But if that was gone and we was free, we'd be doing what? People will be like, I choose to walk naked. I want to walk outside. I don't want clothes on. I want to be like the animals that don't have no clothes. Humans chose to put a law in place where we have to put clothes on. And then what happens? Because we're not used to being naked, there's a sexual act to that, where other people can look at other people and think, oh, I want to rape you now, or I want to do this because I'm seeing a sexual act. If we was just like animals, for now, all the way up, and no one had clothes on, and we just lived like that, there wouldn't be the sexual act of how it is now. Because we'd be used to everyone's bodies, and we'd be known that we're one, and it's everyone's bodies, and we're all one. So that's just an example of our minds being limited for thousands of years. It's just got stuck in that the mindset. It's like robots, really, if you think about it.
We're not a tribe.
Sorry?
We're not a tribe.
No.